If you follow the immigration debate here in Arizona or across the country, you've heard the name Sheriff Joe Arpaio. He's the sheriff of Maricopa County right here in the Phoenix area in Arizona. To those who want a tough crackdown on illegal immigrants, he is a hero. Many, though, think his tactics are insensitive. Some say they even violate the constitutional rights. So what now that a judge has said some key provisions of the new Arizona law cannot be implemented? Sheriff Joe says he and his deputies will be out on the street tomorrow. Business as usual. Had you been allowed to fully enforce the law, do you think it would have made a big difference in terms of the number of illegal immigrants coming into Arizona or coming into your custody once they're in Arizona? Or was it more of a statement? Many critics say it's to set a tone, to make clear if you don't get it already, you're not welcome here.
Well, I thanks to the news media that's here from all over the world that have passed the message out. Really, I'm not saying perpetuated this situation, but you have a job to do. I think you're sending a message out about this new law, and people are becoming concerned, and they're leaving. They're leaving. I don't think they're going to come back because of this decision. I think they're probably very angry that the judge did not throw out this whole law. And don't forget, we still have officers in our jail that have been trained by Homeland Security that investigates everyone booked into that jail. So any police officer that arrests anyone on a criminal violation, we're still going to investigate and show they're here illegally.
And so for those who watch Sheriff Joe Arpaio and say, here's the guy who is very aggressive, and some don't like that, others do, will you be any different tomorrow than you are today because of this ruling?
No. Except we're not going to enforce that one part that I mentioned about that misdemeanor, asking for papers, that type of thing. No, it's going to be business as usual. We don't do things that are illegal. I don't do that. I know the Department of Justice, 60 days into the Obama administration, launched the investigations, alleged, civil rights, and that's been a year and a half. You know our record, what we've been doing. So I'm very confident in our deputy sheriffs, how they enforce these laws. I have no concern whatsoever.
And again, when the federal government cites statistics and says, there are more guys on the border than ever before, there's less major crime along the border than ever before, this is an overreaction. This whole
really?
Debate in Arizona.
Well, I guess you're talking about the U.S. side, not across the border where you have all the violence, murders, and everything else. And I guess maybe the federal government feels they're right, because if they only send in 1,200 National Guard and you divide that by 3, you think that's really a big force to send down to the border? So maybe they say they're doing such a great job, they don't need more than 1,200 National Guard, but they are not doing a great job. They're trying. What I would like the federal government to do, quite honestly, being a former federal law enforcement official in Mexico, why don't they just say, thank you, Sheriff, let's join forces. We cannot do this job alone. We need local law enforcement to work together. The feds can't do this job alone. They know it, the people know it. But why are they fighting us? Why don't we join together? We go after bank robberies, federal, we go after guns, ATF. We do all these other federal laws, but why is it this one law, this other federal law, causes so much controversy from the White House all the way down to the streets of Phoenix? I don't understand that.
What do you think the answer is?
Huh?
What's the answer?
Well, I'll tell you what the answer is. They want amnesty. Employers want to keep hiring cheap labor, and the politicians want to make sure they get the Hispanic vote. Doesn't everybody know that?
You think it's nothing but that cold, raw politics and
that's just
and
my
economics,
being around with the feds for 30 years and 17 years. I just got that my own opinion. But I think if you really if people were honest, I think they would say, hey, Sheriff, you got a point there.
Sheriff, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.